Demon was born into Uzomba family. Was John's mother the first child of my father, Dakisana Uzomba, who once worked with Nigerian Airways in Kano, murdered to bring me home? Among their actions in our portrait, the arsonist, Mrs. Regina Obianyo, retired from Nigerian Airways too. Obianyo was plotted as our neighbor by Ezobi San from Obu, Anambra, whose chamber have done a little job for us in the process of we buying our house. Ezobi corpse went missing in Enugu State, where Mr. Obianyo was buried. Remember, the late Obianyo told me they poisoned him. Therefore, evil forest in a secret way. The junior brother Obianyo, who worked in DS, is aware. John's mother was buried in October 2008. On that night, Enebunwa, John's friend, hosted Eden Ernest Eric, who married John's junior sister, with his group in his house. Ernest is a relation of the late Deputy Governor of Donald Dukes in Cross River State, who died in a fatal car accident. I was drinking in the same table with John's in-law. The one beside me was seriously dragging my attention to what he was saying. My attention was partially on my cup when one of them put his hand in my cup. I shouted, "Why did you put your hand in my cup?" And that person took my cup. And many of them begging me to leave. I thought deeply about their action, that they did not want me to establish the issue of poison. In the morning, I took off back to Lagos. Soon after, pictures were sent to me with over 5 tanks to be buried in half plot near my village house by Ihanyechukwu Roland Anele Elasishehi, who headed a motor park in Aba under the Abia government of Oju Zokalo, who built a Catholic church in his hometown. Anele is from Omunubo village in Unkwere. Old man Augustine Uzuku called me from Aba that Anele forcefully took part of his land in our Umukwaraji Umuko village in Unkwere, Imo State. Augustine attached to me in fighting Anele. John is a knight in a Catholic church, which our polygamous family is attending. In our part 2, my Mercedes 1000 plate number must have been plotted by John and Oju Zokalo with Ada. John's wife is from Omunubo, the same village with the Anele. John lives in Ibejileki area, where Enebunwa also live, while keeping his family in Canada. Enebunwa Junior brother had lived in Rajadataki Estate, but after the action to murder our Nigerian Japan family, he also packed to Ibejileki area. Chinedu from our village, who live in Canada with John, plotted evil with the woman Ihanyoba, which we posted to our Facebook on 4th June 2022. John works in Union Bank before move to Homer Bank, where Enebunwa and the Oju Zokalo were member. John begged me, and I opened our company Miana International Limited account number 2759-100 in their head office in Akpambo, Lagos, where he was working. And one of his sisters married from Mbano, being that Umuahia people have caused a lot of damage to us in Lagos, including Robinson Wankwo, who said his wife was dating his close friends because he was sacked from job. With sympathy, I financed him 100% to get visa and airplane ticket to go to abroad. While he was abroad, over the phone, he told me his wife was on her way from Umuahia to Lagos to greet me. This is a man a family member brought to help, who stayed in my house for over 3 months, and his wife did not come at all. I rejected. His harm to me cannot fit in this petition. I hire Gani Fawohini son after hearing the fact about Anele action in a half plot. The chamber agreed with me that there was no government regulation that could give him a license for a police station in such a small place, in a town where there is no fire service. Gani's charge was paid, and it was agreed to be paid nearly 100,000 naira for each travel. I brought information to hand over to lawyer Clement from Nnewi as instructed, but he was no longer working for Gani Chamber. I didn't do. Iguazo and Theophilus Akamwa took the information, including pictures. Surprisingly, they were from Umuahia. Adendu and Theo filed the suit after the court day. They informed me that Anele appeared with his lawyer, claiming he was not proper party to the suit, and brought the name of his company, Bakers Oil Company Nigeria Limited. Adendu and Theo and the other Yoruba lawyers insisted they wanted to file a joinder. I disagree with them that it was too early, and the best option was to file a new suit, and the old suit will be withdrawn. They all refused. At this time, Gani, the owner of the chamber, was in a hospital in London. Believe me, they wasted my multiple million naira with the joinder, and the Anele finished building his village station, and he died. Abomination. The village station lacked finance. Later, Gani Fawohini died. Back then, sometimes I used South African Airways to fly to Narita, Tokyo via Hong Kong. John's in-law, Ernest Iraq, asked me if I know any good hospital in South Africa for his operation. I introduced him to South African Airways staff. 2014, only the person I introduced to Ernest called me for South Africa about the problem we are having in Lagos, including Ason. The person said they wanted to fly to Lagos to take my family to TB Joshua to play. I told the person particular churches in Lagos were magicians. They often put people in bondage by deceiving them to bury them alive. Redeemed Church members were the prime suspect in the action. The culprits in all our multiple cases were noted by the police, but unfortunately, police are involved in the open blood money. We ended very roughly. In September 2014, the same year, TB Joshua building collapsed and killed over 100 people, including 80 South Africa. That person called me to apologize. Even TB Joshua could not see his own future, because I introduced the person, South African person, to Ernest. I accepted their apology, and I never exposed the person. End of 2014, Augustine Uzuku again called me that his son, Charles Uche Uzuku, was having accommodation problem in Abuja. From our phone conversation, Uche claimed to be over 40 years and agreed to pay his own rent. I equally told him I was targeting 4 to 5 million naira yearly. According to our 3 self-contained apartment, I demanded for his picture, which he sent to my address in Lagos. Still, I could not recognize his face. From our village, I directed him and he collected the key from Bumi Osoko, who handed over our Abuja house case file to Kola Ogunala, who moved from Sokoto State to Cross River State as AIG. By 2015, my house was filled with tenants. But in the Union Bank account I gave to Uche, the money was not there. Anele police station suddenly started working. I started to suspect dead Anele and Augustine Uzuku. With his son, we are working for Oju Zokalo and John. They all live in Aba. Early 2016, someone called me that Uche had prepared a fake suit against a tenant, a Redeemed Church Yoruba man called Shola Oladojo. They would soon send a fake hearing notice that the judge wanted to see her, the owner of the house. If I went to Abuja, I would go missing. I called Uche. If he was in court with a Redeemed Church man, he was surprised and said, yes, with his own lawyer. I demanded for any document relating to the case. He sent me document on 21st January 2016 through email and said the lawyer had other document. The purported court document was done in my name and signed as if it were me, and also carried a judicial stamp. I quietly told him that he should have notified me before taking action. He severally already apologized, which I ignored. On 29 January 2016, which is sent an apology by email. Later, I called the person who gave me the information. The one who picked said the owner of the phone was dead. Uche's father, Augustine, constant called me, and I thought he wanted me to complain about Uche's action to him. I never picked his phone call. Uche started calling that his father wanted to speak to me, but I always claimed to be very busy. Years went by. Uche told me his mother and someone from Mbano put fire under his father's bed to burn him alive. Later, Augustine died. As their evil started to expose, John told me over the phone that he is close to Alin Onyema of APC, which I saw as a trick to come closer to me, so I ignored. And also close to this Nosuala, who is an Anglican, like Emmanuel C.C. Onyemado, the Oruku Anambra old man, who owned our rented industrial warehouse, whose wife was an Umuahia woman. Onyemado's Yoruba lawyer, Richard Oyadele Akintunde, from Ondo State, is an Anglican too. Lagos State used them to break into our warehouse and took our marine engine, motorcycle, etc. also from our showroom. All the goods worth over 1 billion naira in the current market price. Oscar Mbiseman, who introduced our company to the industrial warehouse, is dead. Our problem started from Tinubu, but taking away our goods is Fachala. to Ambode, now Sanwo-Olu. Many meetings were held at a time Lagos State started denying their involvement in the breaking and selling of our goods. We were able to bring them back to our issue with the picture of their staff from our spy camera. Governor Sanwo-Olu and Chief Judge Kazim Aloba used the development to set up a meeting where their staff confess it was a forced entry. No single notice was given to us. The truth finally came out. But Governor Sanwo-Olu and Chief Judge Aloba have failed to meet their obligation of their position to come to final discussion to apologize and pay us. Lagos State with their staff, Onyemado, all the lawyers are now rich with our money, including this Noswala with his woman lawyer, who is a Redeemed Church member. Ayodele, who could not attach the judgment from a judge he relied upon, which will expose him. Because there was no case, no trial. He's not a son. This is how they work as professionals, openly stealing and making their clients a victim to eat him raw. No common sense. Sometime, Oswala asked me, who is revising this? I said, revising what? He kept quiet. Their cultism was dismantled. Because as we came out of the court on 23rd July 2021, this Noswala shocked me. By water dropping from his eye, I guided him to his car and told his driver to come down. So he didn't notice. As we entered the car, the crying was out of control. I told him, the new judge just announced he was ready to hear our case of empty container. Why are you crying? Oswala said, all that they have done to me, I still have the brain to compose letters that all the people who read it is supporting me. He was referring to our letter dated 28 June 2021 with 17 bit, which we mentioned in our YouTube, Anacho exposing the truth. Oswala was fed up with our case, as he could not kill me upon all his attempts. His bad feeling is about disaster they plotted on our family. Break all rules to steal any life in us, who spill blood everywhere, especially in Igbo land. He was kicked out of 19th floor. He is now attached in the chamber of a younger Yoruba lawyer in 12th floor. I wrote a petition to police dated 9 August 2021 and an additional petition dated 27 September 2021 to investigate Uche with his purported document that carry call stamp the true identity of the tenant who refused to sign agreement and refused to pay their rent. Surprisingly, the Commissioner of Police, Abuja, Sunday Babaji, has never told me what he was doing with our petitions. Now that I am ready to handle our cross-examination and the other issue in our civil suit, that is on fiat before Justice R.M. Aikawa, who time is against because he hasn't worked since February 2022. We are being very careful because Ojikalo John with the Cross River in-laws and Osuala with the organizer Tinubu and Inyako must be praying for my kidnapping, where no one will see my dead body, so they can have an opportunity to position an impersonator in a case I, Anacho, have suffered in for over 14 years. This idiot called John, with his devilish brain, will put coverage by saying he is Uzombanta, and the Anacho innocent Uzomba has won the case, whereas it's not me. Those that are in control of Nigeria government treasury will pay to themselves and settle this idiot called John with his satanic politician group. They have already positioned a Cross River man in our port to spy for them the situation of our case. The example of their dream is already happening with the Justice Peter Inyako, DS, and an impersonator pretending to come from Afara-Ukwu, Ibeku. If I had not met this idiot in person with his group, I would have been confused like others. What they say is not what they mean. Ojus Okalo with Umuahia and the Anambra virtual lawyers are the smoke screen behind the court, as if no Igbo man can be alive and genuinely win a case against an agent of the Nigerian government. We will continue to leave no stone unturned in bringing the criminals, enemy of the world, more clearly to the great leaders of great G7, great leader of great China, great leader of great Russia, the AU, ECOWAS. With you, we are calling on FBI, possible with Nigerian security agents, to investigate Ojus Okalo, Enebunwa, Allen Onyema, Geoffrey Onyema, Alhaji Oluseshi, John Uzomba, with his Cross River in-law, AIG Zone 6, Calabar, Kola Ogunola, with his group in our cases, Hallmark Bank, with their Miana account, Junior Obianyo, who work in DS, Lawyer Paul Ozobi of Ozobi Sound Chamber then, Dixon Osuala with his group, Alhaja Aisha Buhari, Alhaji Motala Inyako, and the Alhaji Aswaju Tinubu, who plotted serious threat in our life, in our Abuja house and Ibojiliki land, as a financial blockage. And they are the pillar of the atrocities. The scenario of all their attempts to murder me, with their being traced to them, point to the fact that they must have used our company name in Hallmark Bank to collect a fraudulent loan very long time ago, which may lead to other banks like Union Home and Union Bank PLC. So we provide our other companies in case they are needed. Noja Ventures Limited, Simadi Global Limited, Tuhaso Company Limited. We put the FBI on notice that the EFCC have failed to work on our petitions dated 29 March 2021, which include video from our spy camera of the action of the suspect, including those ones working in government, with their letter to us dated 12 April 2021. Instead, I quote, "We have referred your matter to the Inspector General of Police, via letter reference number dated 12 April 2021 for investigation. IGP Osman Baba has never acknowledged the issue up to date. They are avoiding, end up investigating themselves. as they are part of the deadly fraud, including in our asset insurance claim. The inaction of EFCC chairman Abdulrashid Bawa and the IGP Osman have forced us to put our petition on YouTube. This is our open petition and part 4 about their secret threat to our life for their useless fraudulent loan in the Homa Bank and how they use witnesses and murdering them. Our part 5 will be more sophisticated in exposing their crime to you. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Domo arigato.